Welcome to another deep dive. Today, you've brought us some really fascinating material.
Yeah, it's called the sovereign mandate, a unified framework of divine agency.
It's definitely a fresh perspective on, some big theological questions, offers a compelling alternative to maybe more traditional Trinitarian ways of thinking.
It does, and what we're going to try and uncover is sort of a shortcut to understanding a really profound principle here,
Okay.
which is how divine authority actually works, through a clear chain of command, basically.
Grounded in the Father and Son sharing the same divine nature, but different roles.
Exactly. Same fundamental nature, distinct roles. It's like peeling back the layers to see how the divine purpose actually gets executed.
Okay, so our mission today is to pull out the key nuggets from these sources, really get a handle on this sovereign mandate model.
And there might be some surprising insights along the way.
I'm ready. So, okay, let's unpack this. The core argument seems to start with three specific verses. Jeremiah 25.33.
Luke 22.71 and 1 Thessalonians 1.10.
Yes. And the report argues they're not just isolated texts, right? They form a kind of cycle.
A coherent narrative cycle, precisely. It reveals the flow of divine authority. And your sources break this down into three stages.
Okay, stage one.
First, you have what we could call YHWH's absolute judgment. That's Jeremiah 25.33. It paints this picture of God the Father, YHWH, as the ultimate sovereign behind this final universal judgment.
Right, the text talks about the purest of Jehovah.
Yeah, it establishes his, frankly, terrifying, unmediated authority. And it sets up this concept of the wrath to come. That's the cosmic problem, you see.
The problem that needs a solution. Okay, then stage two.
Then we jump to Luke 22.71. This is the agent's contested authority. The religious leaders, they reject the Son.
Right after he claims divine sonship from his own mouth.
Exactly. And the fascinating thing is they completely missed the Hebraic legal idea of shaliach.
Shaleach, like an empowered representative.
Precisely. Like a person's agent is regarded as the person himself. What the agent says, the principle says. But they didn't see it that way.
They saw it as rivalry.
Rival sovereignty, yeah.
Yeah.
Not, ontological unity within a functional hierarchy. So his condemnation wasn't just about him. It was rejecting the Father's chosen agent.
Wow. Okay, so that leads to the third stage.
Which is the principle's vindication and the agent's delegated deliverance. That's 1 Thessalonians 1.10. The resolution.
The Father raised from the dead his Son.
A definitive vindication. And now the Son is commissioned specifically to delivereth us from the wrath to come.
The exact wrath mentioned back in Jeremiah.
The very same. So the Son saves from the Father, but crucially by the Father's own decree. It's this perfect loop. Problem stated, agent rejected, agent vindicated, agent solves the original problem.
That's a really powerful cycle. But what makes the Son able to do this? This is where the other research comes in, right? Melchizedek and the second Adam.
Exactly. It's not just about those three verses in isolation. The Son's unique qualifications are key as the eternal Melchizedekian priest king. He inherently possesses the authority needed to deliver from that ultimate eternal wrath. This isn't just delegated power like, say, an angel might have.
It flows from his shared divine nature, that ontological unity you mentioned.
Yes, he wields the same divine authority. A mere human or even an angelic go-between couldn't do this. And then there's his origin.
As the second Adam.
Right. His unique, non-Adamic origin. He's not just another human in the line from Adam. He's a new, perfect human archetype, untainted by the fall.
Which makes him the perfect, flawless agent.
Correct. And his resurrection, which 1 Thessalonians highlights, is like the Father's public announcement. The judgment of the Adamic world back in Luke 22, null and void, my agent triumphs.
So this whole framework, it really reframes how you might think about the Godhead, doesn't it? Why the specific name change? From substantive agency model to the sovereign mandate model?
Good question. It's about clarity and focus. Sovereign mandate just describes it better, really.
How so?
Well, sovereign anchors everything in the Father's absolute authority as YHWH, the sole source of power, like we saw in Jeremiah.
Okay, makes sense.
And mandate. Well, that perfectly captures the Son's role, doesn't it? His authority, his mission, it's all a comprehensive delegated commission from the sovereign.
Evidenced by his testimony and then his mission to deliver.
Exactly. So it shifts the central question. Instead of asking primarily, what are they? It asks, what is their relationship and what do they do?
So it affirms the Son's full divinity, his substance.
Absolutely. But it clarifies his functional role within the Father's overarching sovereign plan. It emphasizes the hierarchy and mission in a way that perhaps differs from the emphasis in some traditional Trinitarian formulations focused on co-equality.
It really does invite you to think about those divine relationships differently. Focusing on how God's will gets done, this divine agency concept, what really stands out to you is the key takeaway here?
Well, zooming out even further, the ultimate implication hinted at in 1 Corinthians 15.28
Ah,
is that the agent, the Son, after perfectly fulfilling his mandate, ultimately returns that fulfilled commission back to the sovereign.
restoring singular, direct divine rule.
Precisely. It suggests the ultimate endgame, the final state of cosmic history, is this complete recentering on the Father's singular sovereignty.
Achieved through the Son's perfect agency.
Exactly. It's a pretty profound vision of divine purpose and its ultimate execution. Something to really chew on.